Hey everybody, Tim Brahim with Performance Experts Coaching and Leadership 360 with another business and life tip for you. And today's tip is in the life realm, but as we always say here at Performance Experts, that anything that's in the life realm makes its way at some point in time or another into the business realm. We carry it around inside of us so it follows us wherever we go. And the subject matter is your energy. And the question that I'd like to ask you is, what type of energy do you carry into the office every day? And as you make your way through the day, how does that energy wane and adjust and fluctuate? So let's operate off of a premise. Let's play a little game, metaphorically speaking here, and let's just assume that every morning you wake up and you're given 100 energy chips to play with. And in this game, the goal is that by the end of the day, when you hit the pillow, you have a few energy chips left and you don't feel depleted. Especially when you come home from the office in the evening and you want to be with your family or your friends or your spouse, and you are required to have some presence and you want to be able to be there for them. Now, what ends up happening in most people's cases, they end up opting into activities throughout the day that deplete them of their energy. And I'd like you to start taking notation of how you experience certain activities as you engage in them throughout the day. Those activities that are what we refer to as low ROE, low return on energy, hemorrhage energy chips. They burn energy chips very rapidly. And then there are activities that you may engage in throughout the day that not only don't burn energy chips, but in this metaphorical game actually give you additional energy chips, bonus energy chips, if you will. Now, most people are walking around, unfortunately, in our society, hemorrhaging so many energy chips in the morning and into the early afternoon that by midday they're just spent. There's none left. And that's when they go to stimulants such as sugar or caffeine to jack themselves up and be able to carry them through the rest of the day. And some of you are listening to this going, yeah, that's me. And then, and then the pattern that we see is that then they get home from work and they want to slow down and get the mind to rest and not be so active. So they'll have a glass of wine or two or a cocktail or maybe smoke some grass just to take the edge off so they can be present and more settled. And then they don't get a great night's sleep. They wake up late the next morning. They don't get in their exercise. And kind of the cycle continues. And we're on this treadmill that we don't know how to get off of. And a lot of it is driven by the choices that we make in our life and not being totally awake to what are the things that not only drain us of our energy, but perhaps more importantly, what are the things that give us energy? What is our fuel? What are the activities that we could be engaging in on a daily basis that really put extra fuel in our tank? For some of you, it may be making sure that you do cardiovascular activities to get the endorphins going and to sweat a little bit. For others, being active in nature, connecting with nature can really fuel you. What are your hobbies? Have you ever made a list of the things that you really loved to do when you were younger and you kind of had to give up doing because life got so serious? What would it look like if you gave that to yourself a little bit more consistently for the purposes of adding energy throughout the day so you don't have to use these external forces to try to stimulate you? Now, where it relates to business, is in many ways, but like in the subject matter of selling, the thing that I really want you to think about is what's it like when you get on the phone if you're depleted of energy versus if you're filled with energy. And this is why I've always suggested that we sell in blocks of time. So those high payoff sales activities that you should be doing, cross-selling listing agents, talking to real estate agents on the phone and statusing them, and most importantly, following up on leads, I'd really like to see you doing those in disciplined blocks of time, especially earlier in the day when your energy is at a heightened state and you have some rhythm and some momentum. Too often times I know that loan originators will try to squeeze in a lead follow-up call here and there rather than carving out an extended period of 60 to 90 minutes to be able to deliver their presentation and their scripting over and over again. And we all know what happens with that. You've had this happen before where you sell somebody, you close them, you're fired up, you get off the phone, you're excited, you just made some good money, and then what you do is you oftentimes will then get sucked into something negative and it'll bring you back down. And what's your impact on your sales process when you're then getting back on the phone after having just put out 3 fires and you're depleted versus getting on the phone right after you close somebody, you're fired up, you've got a lot of confidence, you just delivered that script and presentation a minute ago, you're in rhythm, they can feel it, and they're much more prone to say yes to you. So a lot to think about here. Start taking a look at what are the things that bring you down, what are the things that lift you up. Start making a list, and then start building into your calendar more time on those high ROE activities. Hope you find this business and life tip helpful to you, to your success, and we'll talk to you soon.